Hello there guys. Chelsea have just played their 26th game of the Premier League season, and unfortunately it wasn't the result we wanted. Chelsea drew Burnley 1-1. Chelsea scored first by Ivanovic from a very good pass by Eden Hazard, a lovely ball to Ivanovic by Hazard. And unfortunately we conceded 15 minutes to go. It was a goal by their defender, Burnley's defender, and it's just a wake-up call for us because we were not at our best today, that's for sure. And Burnley are a 19th place team. That's the beauty of the Premier League, that you don't always expect something. You cannot decide something by just saying that Chelsea are going to win this game. They have to work for it, and you have to say that Chelsea, one goal lead for them was not enough at all, and we were completely wasteful today. And we should play better, much better than this, and that's just a wake-up call for us. Manchester City are playing later in the afternoon, and if they win, we really have to look at ourselves. So let's talk about the starting lineup. We saw Courtois keep his place in the goal. Filipe Luis came on for Azpilicueta. Zuma came on for Cahill, and I have to say Zuma is a wonderful, wonderful man, a very good player. And Cuadrado started today. He had a fine game, I thought. Diego Costa returned from his suspension. So Hazard was very tireless today. He's an amazing player we have. I have to say it's very disappointing to concede late on. I cannot say Burnley they don't deserve their point. They worked for their point. They really deserve their point, because that's what punishes you when you don't perform, and when you don't take your chances you cannot complain. Burnley took their chance, they scored. We lost Matic late on with a red card because of his reaction to the foul that he won. There was a bad tackle that had against him, and it was a little overreaction by Matic, but I can understand his point of view. That was painful. That tackle was very painful, and Matic just pushed the player so hard, and he fell, and he got a red card. 2 penalty decisions not given for us, unfortunately, and you can once again you can see why Mourinho says campaign against Chelsea. You can see that once again. Mourinho was fined £25,000 for saying media and the FA has a campaign against Chelsea, and you can see why. He doesn't say anything just for the sake of making up stories, if you do not know that. It was a very bad ending to the game. We started off very well. So the 2 penalties, Ivanovic shot goal bound, and there was a defender that purposely, his left arm, he did this with his left arm and he purposely stopped the ball. Definite penalty. And another challenge on Diego Costa on the box. It wasn't shoulder to shoulder. Shoulders to shoulder sometimes are 50-50, but it was a shove to both hands on Diego Costa. It was a shove, and Diego Costa cannot believe it's a penalty. It can go either way. These decisions can go either way, but it's very, very frustrating. Like, we haven't got penalties this season in the Premier League at all, and all the penalties that got against us, at least 90% of them are penalties for sure. Another thing that's a debate is that we do not play against Leicester City next, and that game is postponed until 29th of April. Manchester City play next week. If they win today's game, it's going to be a 5-point gap. If they win the game that's coming next week, it's going to be a 2-point difference. That's going to bring a massive pressure to Chelsea. I personally would have preferred for the game to have been in the midweek, just before the Tottenham final, but now the pressure is going to be on Chelsea if Manchester City is going to win the next 2 games, because the point is going to reduce to 2 points. Although we have a game in hand, but we have to work for it. And if we qualify for the Champions League, it's gonna be much harder because we have to play much more games. So Matic red card. I don't know what to say. I thought we would win this game and the points would be in our bag, but it wasn't. We have to work for it. The natural replacement for Matic is Ramirez, although Ramirez can offer us different things. I have to say one thing about Chelsea, that they are afraid to shoot outside the box. There is only 3 players that I know that shoot outside the box, and that is Matic, Ramirez and Oscar. And generally speaking, their conversion rate is good a lot of the time when they shoot outside the box. Even Diego Costa doesn't shoot outside the box, but we have to try more of those in the future, because if you have a chance, why not take it? And you just need power to get the ball into the net. But most of our shots are inside the box. I want to say one thing about Hazard. I didn't mention in my previous video. It's a major boost for us to tie him down another 5 years. If you look at the Chelsea squad overall, most of them don't even have more than 5 years senior experience in the Premier League. That means when they are at the professional level, they don't even have 5-year experience. Courtois, Hazard, Oscar, these players, and they are already so good. We are so young. Remember back in 2012 how old our squad was? The average age for our squad? It has massively been reduced. And with Zuma and with Hazard, it's crazy. And Courtois too, it's crazy. We have a lot to offer in the future for Chelsea. We have at least like 10 years, 8 to 10 years. If these players can gel together and get a good understanding of each other, we can win trophies. Let's not get carried away. Our next game is against Tottenham in the final. We have to do this. In 2008 we lost to Tottenham in the final. Tottenham scored in the extra time. The game went to extra time and we lost, and this time we have to make it right. Unfortunately we lost Matic. We're gonna lose Matic to the Tottenham game, because in the FA rules, if you get a suspension in the Premier League, it's also carried on to Carling, to the Capital One Cup and as well as the FA Cup. That's the way it works. So we lose Matic for Tottenham game, against West Ham and against Southampton. Southampton are a good side and we're going to play against them just after the Champions League against Paris Saint-Germain. There were talks also about racist chants about Chelsea. Chelsea have mentioned that they are that's not their image. Racism is definitely out of their image and out of football. And a guy called Soleimani, he was insulted by at least 3 Chelsea fans. He was trying to get into the train, but Chelsea fans didn't allow him, and they had racist chants against him. That was not good, and that's not who Chelsea are. So the Chelsea Football Club, the board, wrote a formal letter to Soleimani to invite him to the Paris Saint-Germain game at Stamford Bridge that is coming up. They invited him and his family. I hope he comes, and I hope that Chelsea fans understand that racism should not be in football. We are not Russians, and we know how empty the seats are in Russia when the Champions League are played in Russia because of the racism players experience. And opposition fans, they don't want to go to Russia. I don't know, but they have a lot of empty seats during the Champions League games when the games are played in Russia. So Hazard, 5-year deal, humble guy. Whenever he gets fouled, he doesn't complain. He gets on with his game. He doesn't provocate players. He has his own game. It's so wonderful. It's so wonderful we have a player like this who is very disciplined, who is most fouled, and he doesn't get the respect he gets, and he's very underrated. He is very underrated still, but Hazard, he has an amazing potential, and he can be a very good Ballon d'Or winner. Next game against Tottenham, so believe it or not, we can make it the first trophy in 2 years, and hopefully then it can be followed by the Premier League. Thanks for watching, guys. Until then, I'll talk to you later. We have to beat that Tottenham, because our New Year was not good and we have to make it right. Remember, we lost 5-3 at the Lane. We have to make this right at Wembley. Unfortunately, Matches is not playing, but we can see it out in Wembley. I'm gonna make a video after that game, and I wish the best for Chelsea in that game and lifting that trophy. See you next time.